we have the opportunity to create more change.
The pantsuit. It's widely worn and accepted these days as an alternative to gowns on the red carpet or as business wear expected of professional women. But it's not just fabric. No type of dress is. Clothing communicates messages that the wearer sends, both as a way to fit into convention or to deviate from it. When Beyoncé performed for Hillary Clinton during the 2016 general election, her choice of dress was hardly coincidental. The pantsuit meant power, and it was synonymous with Hillary's power. This isn't a new concept. Pantsuits have represented power and deviance for decades. It's been on the runway, an option for brides, and on countless red carpets. Not to mention we see it everywhere in street style or event photos. So the question remains then, why do we need to reclaim it again?
And I gotta say, didn't you love the pantsuits?
The reason is as political as it is societal.
But the big picture here is women do earn less in America because they choose to.
Female happiness is an oxymoron.
That's why divorce rates are so high. Women don't know how to take care of their men anymore.
There's got to be some downside to having a woman president.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
My role is
a hoe is a hoe, right?
And by the way, if you want to rule the world, little girls, you got to know what the guys like.
Be at home with the kids. They're happier than.
Oh, what?
You know.
All right, Bo.
Oh, what?
Right?
TV.
You know what? Americans heard it one time or another.
Hillary Clinton.
But my point, Tarrant, but getting on
pants.
Yeah,
okay?
pants.
Now, pants, we're not allowed on.
Okay, so we get why women would want to reclaim power, but we need to understand how that power evolved and what exactly that power is. In the 1930 film Morocco, Marlene Dietrich astounded and aroused audiences when she wore a man's tuxedo in one of the first modern displays of claiming male clothing. On the faces of the male characters we see fear, but also sort of awe. Marlene's character goes farther in the confusing charade by kissing a fellow woman. This cross-dressing symbolizes a power play, where a woman's control is alluring and uncomfortable, a gimmick, but also a threat. Soon, others in Hollywood followed suit, quite literally. Katharine Hepburn was among the first proponents of suit and pants wearing, which was shocking in the 40s. Encoded as a powerful and firm woman, her real-life attitude matched her clothing choices, and pants on women became to refer to rather ill-behaved women.
Oh, Dex, I'm such an unholy mess of a girl.
All over the United States, women are
With the dawn of the Second World War and the need for women in factories, the queasiness with women's slow grab for power remained, and despite their independence in the 40s while wearing men's work clothes and working men's jobs, women were back in dresses and the home in the 50s.
Employers find that women can do many jobs as well as men. Some jobs better.
But they soon got used to pants and decided they liked them. So along with second wave feminism, pants made their way to the mainstream market and onto women's bodies. Of course, Yves Saint Laurent's explosively influential Le Smoking, a term derived from male smoking jackets, in 1966, made deviating from traditionally female clothing cool and sexy. The French designer gave pantsuits the stamp of approval from the fashion capital of the world, making pantsuits even edgier and even more fashionable.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Charlotte Reed helped usher in the normalcy of pants in 1969 as the first woman in Congress to wear pants. Of the occasion, the Washington Post recorded the shock it gave male members. Reed herself said, "I'm really quite serious about my service in the Congress, and I wouldn't want to do anything that seemed facetious. Neither would I want to do anything to take away from the femininity of the women in the House, even though I think pants are feminine looking." Of course, pantsuits weren't even technically allowed, so her nervousness makes sense. Until politicians like Barbara Mikulski and others pushed, they weren't permitted till 1993.
For a woman to come on the floor in trousers was viewed as a seismographic event.
In the neoconservative 80s, androgyny remained and her name was Grace Jones. She blurred the line between male and female beautifully, confusing the idea of normative genders and sexualities. Pantsuits and shoulder pads were often seen on her, along with other pop icons, but it was the power suit that defined this season of Reclamation, as women intruded the corporate world, replacing their smooth lines of femininity with harsh corners of androgyny and masculinity, as if to say, we are here to stay and we are the same as you. In the 90s, the queen of the pantsuit was Hillary Clinton. In the public eye as First Lady, she was notorious for her ferocity and her work ethic. She was a strong proponent for universal health care and certainly had sway in the president.
I could have stayed home and baked cookies and had teas, but what I decided to do was to fulfill my profession, which I entered before my husband was in public life.
Which made many people deeply uncomfortable and critical, especially for her appearance and the power it symbolized.
I think she has a little bit too much power for a president's wife.
The power that she has bothers me a lot.
Where does that bring us now?
Sigh.
The pantsuit is common and accepted as a style of women's dress, constantly reinvented on the runways and on celebrities. Its new style mixes femininity with androgyny, sexy with strong, forever playing with paradoxes, as it seems is a female human condition. During the 2016 general election, another reclamation began to form, as women supported Hillary Clinton by wearing her iconic and harshly criticized pantsuit. This time, the pantsuit isn't just business wear like in the 80s, or a simple grab for basic equality like in the 30s and 40s. This time, anyone can wear the pantsuit, and it can symbolize their power as a minority in society. From dancing in the streets to activism in the Facebook group Pantsuit Nation, women are taking the pantsuit up yet again to reaffirm their strength and power. It probably won't be the last time, and it definitely isn't the first. But
it's not over until the lady in the pantsuit says it is.